Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Awakening Spiritual Gifts broadcast. So happy to be here. I'm again, if you, my background, I'm out of town, so I'm up visiting family again this week. So my system's a little not as solid as usual, but I think it's working. This show's working on my end. I hope I'm live. All right. We go. All right. Well, so I thought it'd be fun to just check on the energy of the week. I used to do these daily and I would do the energy of the day, but I'm thinking, let's just maybe do the energy of the week. Seeing some of the patterns or what's going on right now, but then also some of the patterns and maybe what has been going on and what it's continuing to do. So I'm going to get out my notebook here and we're going to just kind of do the energy of the day live. And as always, you guys can totally just, of course, you can ask any questions. You can put them in the comments. What are you working on? How are you? And I would just love to just send just love on you and serve you however I can. So feel free to put anything in the comments. I'm doing I'm up, like I said, I'm up here visiting family and I've got people in various rooms close to me. I have a 21-year-old son who works from home. So it's kind of like he's quiet in that area. And so we got people around me over here. And bedroom was too dark. It's just like, so I forgive any sounds because I am out of town. All right, let's go to the energy of the day. And okay, let's see here. Yesterday what was it yesterday? Yes. Oh my goodness, my days are blending. But yesterday I had looked at the energy and there was it hasn't changed very much from there, but there's a new one coming in. Hold on one second. Let me try to decipher what this is I'm seeing here. Okay. So yesterday it was a little bit of like a message of there was some movement, but it was like, let's be done with kind of like closing up some of the past pains, past stories. Like, let's just clear it up, be done with it. And so that we can open up the next phase of creation and being opening to abundance and all the next things. And so it definitely just has some of that same vibe. But there's a little bit of the only word I have for this is there's a little bit of that movement energy, but then there's like a whispering energy, for lack of better words. It's kind of a light blue in color and it kind of looks like a soft wind blowing, but the way that I feel it too, it's like coming through the ear and kind of coming around, which is just very beautiful. It's a very soft whisper energy. So, which just really makes me think that it's a very more loving, encouraging, soft, maybe just whispering those words, those soft words that we would need to hear. And how perfect of that message, or how perfect is that message to go right along with, like, hey, let's start to create some new stories and to move on from some of the old pains or the old past. We are definitely in this moment now of perspective and being able to kind of look at things with new eyes, maybe even looking at things with an aerial view versus, or maybe not that we are, but that this would be a great time to do that. Like, instead of taking you in the focus right here, to raise up and get like an aerial view for a higher perspective on life and its challenges, and then to lean into that sweet whisper and the message that's coming into us, to lead us, to guide us, to comfort us, to love. It's very beautiful. So that is really, really fun. So anyway, that I'm curious if you guys are feeling any of that. Go into my comments here, make sure the comments are working. Is everything working? Are you guys able to hear me? I'm streaming to a few different places, so I just want to make sure it's all working and you guys can hear me. I've been staying up a little late partying with family. I think I see it in my eyes. Like, take a nap. Okay, good. You can hear me. Hey, this is cool. And Natalie, look, I see your name. So I don't know what it was yesterday. I don't know. Something about the group. You might have to give permission in every group that you're in. I don't know, because right now I'm seeing you just fine on the page. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. You guys are the first ones to have some interaction. These are like way more fun when we have lots of interaction and talking and making sure people are here. Hold on, I'm gonna put this pillow behind my back. So yeah, so how can I help you guys today? What are you guys working on? You guys feeling some of that energy of the day? I know that I am. I have been like, I mean, the last few days has been some really great healing work that's been done, that I've been really doing. I had a little bit of, so I had a bunch of like miraculous things, like health wise. Yesterday, I felt so amazing. I had also been doing like the intermittent, or I've been doing some fasting. I fasted for a full 24 hours and then just did some intermittent fasting with some keto eating. And it just started taking that infection or whatever in my jaw way down. I had a jaw infection that was taking me out. I thought I was going to have to, that's why I'm up with family actually. It's because I thought I was going to have to go into some emergency care. And it was like all gone yesterday. I felt so good. And then I accidentally ate some extra, I accidentally ate a protein bar and it had a little too much sugar or carbs or something. And it's amazing how just the bacteria can eat that stuff. So today, it's not that it's bad. It's just a little bit of more like, oh, it's in me still a little bit. But so much better. I was so worried this week. So I love all the tools for healing. Yeah, it's just, oh, and I love that you can feel that too, Natalie. That's what I feel. It's just like the soft encouragement. That's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah. It's just like, it's okay, which I mean, like, especially if we're going to be healing and moving past some of those old pains and stories, those things can be a little painful, a little intense, a little bit like resurfacing stuff. It's cycles for healing. And so that soft encouragement is a perfect like hug, warm hug or a blanket coming over us. So I'm really curious. I keep getting something. I feel like something's trying to come into my eyes right now. Is anybody having anything with their eyes? I'm really curious. I'm like, am I getting something for someone else? And Stacy, I've been feeling blah and unsettled. I'm curious, have you had any kind of like old pains or just things resurface, Stacy? Natalie, is that you for your eyes? Because I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, did all of a sudden I see your name and I get something in your eye, in the eyes? I don't know. Should we look at that if that is? Which I know I did. I have stayed up a little late. Played VR. I've been playing virtual reality. My son has it and I've been playing it. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's look at your eyes, if that's okay. Let's see what energy is going on. Well, and I think I did even look at some of the energy, and you had a lot of stuff coming down in like some gifts or whatever this is. So let's dive into this and look at it. Is that okay? You're not super clear what to clear. Okay, well let's look at this and see because it's not fun. It's like right there in the eyes. Okay, so I'm really curious, and I'm so glad that you're on and I can see your comments fast. It's so much better when we get instant engagement, right? So, Natalie, I'm really curious. Have you been working really hard at something? Because it almost feels, I thought it was just like, oh, maybe my eyes are tired, but no, this is like an energy that feels like I'm trying really hard to maybe figure something out, or like almost like if you were to stare at something and you're trying to figure it out, and you're trying to read it or stare at something energetically. That's kind of what the eyes are doing. Like I'm trying really, really hard to figure something out, and they are tired, like it just wants a break. And right here, I have pressure. Oh, Carrie, that is cool too. So I wonder if this is a clearing for multiple people. And Natalie's like, yes. So this could be like a multiple clearing today. This is cool. Carrie, this is interesting. Your physical vision has changed in the past week too. This is always fascinating because then it's like, is there a collective thing going on or what? So, all right. So let me just finish with Natalie. So, yeah, Natalie, it feels like just a lot of like the focus and just like I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to see, trying to. I mean, if you just look at all the symbolism of the eyes, right? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to like figure it out. Know, read it, read into things, um, focus on it. Just any of those words that you could think of with eyes, and it's geared and directed toward something, and it is getting fatigued. One of the best things to remember about um, like the spiritual gifts, and especially kind of receiving, kind of opening things up, is it typically comes from like that yin energy, or like the divine feminine that is within all of us. It's more that receiving, the being energy is what opens up these gifts and things coming in. And so if you're straining and you're trying to find something and work hard at something, then it usually runs the other way, because that's more the doing energy. That's the, like the doing, or like the making things happen, working towards it instead of just a receiving. So just lift your foot off the gas and just sit and just receive. It's time to just breathe in and inhale, and you don't have to work so hard. Whatever these gifts are, they just come to you, and they'll come to you faster when we're not straining on them. So this is really fascinating. So let me know on that, Natalie, how that resonates. And Carrie, let's look at this. So do you have a lot of things? Do you want me to take a look at what's going on in your energy and your eyes, Carrie? I'm wondering if, like you're saying how you have pressure and then your vision is changed. But I'm very curious if there's some patterns, like I know like Natalie's going through, like there's some gifts opening up in her eyes and her sight and stuff, and I'm wondering if you have some of the same things coming. Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. So yes, look at that. So that's funny. Mars is in my 10th house, which is an initiating energy. Yep. All right. Okay. So let's look at this. And sending love to you, Natalie. Yes, it is frustrating. Just sit and receive. Just sit and receive. It's like one of my favorite things to do. If I keep trying to do something that's not working, I'll switch it to I play with that masculine feminine energy all the time. If I do too much, then I focus on the being. And then if I'm trying to get things, the being energy is not working, then it means I got to take an action step and do some more doing. Like I'm always weaving through those. Okay, so Carrie, let's look at those. Oh, Carrie, do you have a headache or anything? There's something too on the head. Like I went to look at the eyes, and it was like this little piercing kind of thing into the head. I can like some kind of energy coming in through the top of the head with a little headache feel. So there's a lot of good with what I'm seeing here. You feel everything in your head. Okay, that makes sense. I feel everything in my head. Yeah, because in a way, it's like what I'm seeing is there's a little bit of almost I'd say like not, for lack of better words, residue. Like sometimes energy, right? You find the best word possible, but it's like I'm seeing some leftover residue from something where it feels like you got hit upside the head with something, like something just like came into you, and it was like really, it felt really intense. It also looks, it has some good things in it. So it could have been something that was actually hard for you, but there's a lot of gifts and good things with the hard. Or it could have just been like a major like awakening, but it kind of rocked your world. It's just something about that like intense and so it came in and it left a little bit of almost like an opening. And there's a little bit of like this residue. Like if you were to picture pounding, like let's say you smashed a rock, or if you smash something with a hammer, it's like a little dust cloud comes up because you just smashed it. Um, it kind of has like that kind of like dust cloud. So then there's a lot of this energy in there like that. I'm going to kind of look to see. Yeah, it totally, like you said, you feel everything in your head. I can see why. It's just like that dust, it just like fills up every area and your eyes. Um, and like I said, it's got the good too. I see a lot of golds and yellows and divine like colors. Like there's some things from God in this as well. Um, so there's a lot of head pressure. Ah, yes, it's exactly. That's how my gifts came in. Suddenly, harshly, and overwhelming. I completely relate to that. Mine came in very intensely as well. I was like, and I don't know what to do and what all these things are. Yeah, so it feels like it's sitting in this space. And when I looked at the energy on how to help it to be more manageable, it just looked like it just needed an outlet. It's like getting stuck here instead of channeling and integrating through the rest of your body. So I'm very curious, what are you doing for outlets? Do you have people that you're talking to it through regularly or journaling? Are you using the gifts that are coming in? Are you able to help and to serve others? Like it just feels like there's something about it needs more of an outlet. It reminds me of kind of like the Dead Sea. One of the reasons why it's dead, it has water coming in, but there's no outlet, and so it stifles life and you know that water being refreshed and to have life in it. And so you know, like a lot of fish and just vibrant living, it doesn't happen because it gets stagnant. And so there perhaps could be a greater outlet that you could find to make it like, so it comes, it's in here and then it just comes through and it works through you, an outlet. So okay, so right here, yeah, I use gifts daily, but not as much as I believe I should. So if you believe you should be doing more, is there just something like a little feeling or an impression that you've had? I would definitely lean into that. Maybe there's some questions that you could ask. How can you express these things more? How can you integrate and be an outlet stronger? Who are you supposed to serve? Like who is it for? Which direction do you go? One of the clues that I did, like, oh goodness, like 14 years ago, when I was really at a place of seeking and its direction, I started to look at my life and the things that I overcame, the things I struggled with, the things that my gifts have helped me to learn and grow from. And then I thought, well, who can I serve that was in the same or similar or same boat as my challenges were? Like, so because you have the key, you have an answer to help whoever it is. So whether it be a health issue, relationship issue, money, self-worth, your gifts, like whatever it is, whatever your challenge is, it's like, you know, I don't know if you've heard some of the phrases like your mess becomes your message. You know, like it's kind of like that. Like there's something, a key there could be to knowing more where and how to express all of your gifts. So okay, well that's exciting. I would love, 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 Carrie, for you to yeah get back to me and let me know how that worked for you and what you find out to see, because it's a lot of energy. That is a lot that's stuck in there, and it's awesome. Like I said, it had a lot of good stuff in it, all that divine energy. Um, but it just wants to be integrated, wants to be spread and shared with others. Oh well, that's perfect. Okay, good. Well, I would love to see if that helped you find your next step. A clue. Good, good, good. All right. Well, let's go to hi, Tata. Let's look at your health today, my dear. Did I say that right? I think I've asked that before. So forgive me if I just said that name wrong, your name wrong. It's a very beautiful, very cool name. Look how unique it is. Okay, so let's look at your health. Let's see what's going on there, my dear. Um, yeah, I'm definitely seeing some. There's there's a like you're normally a very like I can see like if I were to look at like your divine energy and what that looks like, it's super vibrant, super bright. Um, I see like a smile, I see love emanating from you. It's just very, very bright and loving. And so, and I can see that just like this health stuff is just diminishing that vibrancy that you almost like know that you have and probably feel on the inside, but it's probably got to feel kind of frustrating. It's like, here's who I am naturally, but yet I'm not able to do it right now. And so the physical body right now definitely has a little bit of that dullness to it. Hold on a second. Will someone let the dog out, please? He's crying at the door. Thank you. And what I'm seeing a little bit, it could be very frustrating, or actually the word, I wouldn't say frustrating. That's not the exact word. I'd say more discouraging. It feels kind of discouraging, kind of hopeless. Like, oh, I'm trying hard to do all these things to make things better. And, you know, what's, um, oh, okay. I did say your name right. Taida. Oh, I love it. Such a cool name. Um, but I'm definitely seeing some of the frustrations. I guess a little frustration, discouragement, disappointment. It's a little bit sad, a little bit heavier, a little bit of um, not like not like hopelessness, but just like, oh, I just keep trying to find the solutions, and why isn't it there yet? And so I just want to like acknowledge that is there, and I don't blame you. Like that would be very difficult when you see and it's like you know all these things and you know about the vibrant way of living and you have all this amazingness that you see and experience, and then your physical reality right now is kind of just not in alignment with it. It's frustrating. Now there is also I'm seeing a little bit of some energy in the mouth and the throat and even the breath in the lungs, and it feels almost more symbolic that it's not necessarily the exact health issues that you're having right now, but this feels like it almost feels more like a reminder of like hang in there, have faith, the thoughts, like make sure that your thoughts are still hanging on to the thoughts of health and vibrancy. You're speaking the words of creation and health and vibrancy and speaking as positive you can. And then the lungs feel like making sure that you're taking a deep breath in and just breathing in. And then as you're exhaling, you kind of just are focusing on releasing some of the negative stuff. And I know that's not the 100% solution for the health issues that you're dealing with, but it feels like this is the message to help you find your next step, if that makes sense. So it's almost like a check, like a self check. Let's make sure the thoughts, your words, and your feelings, your heart, and everything, thoughts, feeling, all of that is aligned with the light and the hope and the healing that you have available to you. So okay, let me know on that, my dear. Send in love. Lots and lots of love. All right, let's go to. I saw some other ones up here. Sorry, I got to scroll up on my comments because they're coming in different places. Okay, cool. We're going to do this one from Mitchell. He's coming in from YouTube. That's fun. Yeah, this is the day that it is streamed to YouTube and the page. a couple different pages on Facebook. So it's really fun. Sometimes YouTube, man, we get people worldwide. It's really cool. All right, let's look. Let's see what's available to you today. Okay, so when I look at you today, Mitchell, I'm seeing it's like there's a lot of good things that I'm seeing in like your body and your system, and then when I get to your head, I'm actually just seeing a lot of question energy. I see that maybe there's some questions that are like really loud on your mind. It feels like there might be one around career, business, making money, finances. It just feels like there's something in that category that's really up here in your mind, in your thoughts. Um, and then also too, I'm kind of like hearing another question about like, what's my next step? So what do I do next, or what do I do? So kind of like it probably is very much coupled with that. Um, there's also like a background questioning here that is it's kind of a circular motion in the back of your head, and it's more geared toward like self-reflection and you. And so it's like almost questioning self, questioning, okay, is this the right thing? Okay, do I need to do this? Like, well, is this the right one? Well, I'm not sure. It's kind of like a it's kind of in a thread of self-doubt a little bit, but not necessarily only self-doubt. Like it just is like a reflective, like a self-reflection. Is there anything else I need to do? Is there anything else I need to clear? Is there anything else I got to figure out? Like it just so self-reflective. It keeps flipping back and forth. So, it just sounds like you're just at I mean, like that energy right there. I would just say you're at a crossroads. It sounds like maybe a rebirth. You've kind of like gotten to a point. You've gathered up some stuff, and now it's time for the next level of birth. Um, if you think about the seasons, like the spring and the summer and the fall and the winter, this is almost like you've done the summer, and then now you're in the fall, where it's like, okay, I've done some growth, and now I can feel that what was working may not be working as well as I thought it would, or as much as it was. And so I got to do some self-reflection, and um, and it's like kind of leading you through winter and that death cycle. It doesn't have to be bad. It just is like it can be a simpler way of just looking at things and going, this doesn't work for me, this isn't working, I'm going to let those go and surrender this and let go of this. Like that's winter could be a time of death or letting things go, so it could be really good. And it just feels like you're in that place of questioning, looking, what do I do? What do I need to let die in order to then bring you to your next phase of the spring, and what new life and birth can come in to the next phase. So I feel like that actually is such a good reminder for all of us. I'm really curious, like if that, who else that spoke to today. That was pretty cool. I know it's great reminders. Great reminders. Oh, and I love this. Yes, Natalie. Natalie, I love you. Natalie's so awesome. She's in our intuition gym, and she's talking about we have a call. Our weekly coaching call is, oh, we have our Wonder Wednesdays at 1. So, yes, we have that call today. And oh, good, Mitchell, you're still here. I was curious. I was like, because I just did your reading. Okay, you got some head pains that are related to some convulsions that may be connected to my questions. Oh, I would definitely say that. That question energy was pretty big. It was like, well, what about this? And like, where do I go here? And like, I could see that could um, be related, or at least making it worse. What are some of the health things? Have you identified health things that are causing the head pain and convulsions? Or do you think that the question energy is the cause of it? I'm going to kind of look a little bit more there. So if I were to say, it almost feels like this head energy, or like some of these things, like maybe some of the things you've been looking at or doing, it feels like, oh, good. And it feels like you come out and then you get hit upside the head, like something happens, and um, then it kind of brings you back in a way, it gives you a headache. It's like, oh, ow. Like, and then oh, I got this idea. I got this idea, and I go for it and I go for it and I get out there a little bit, and then something just smacks it back in. And so it's like, ow, okay, well, what is next? What do I do? But as you're trying to figure out what to think and do, you're still recovering from that smack on the head that when you were coming out. So I'm curious, is I'm curious if the answers, instead of trying to think, and well, what about this and do this and try this, like I'm wondering if because those, like I said, like sometimes those energies are coming back with some, um, things that aren't as comfortable. But I'm wondering if it's more of a go inward and listen. So instead of head outward, it's more go inward, go into your heart, go into that space, listen and receive. Yeah. I bet Kolob is beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, I bet that would definitely take some adjustment to get back into life. Okay, well, I'm excited to hear what comes for you. I know you're so gifted and you're so intuitive, Mitchell, and like you've got so many amazing traits and gifts and knowledge. So it'll be really fun to see what you figure out during this time. So hang in there, and hopefully that helped. Go inward. All right, my friends. Well, this was so fun to see all of you on all these different platforms on this lovely day. Um, so I just want to send you love and thank you for being here. And if there is, I also just want to invite anyone who has not joined our free community, our Awakening Intuition, Spiritual Gifts and Purpose group on Facebook. And that is just a great place to just connect with other like-minded individuals where we can just connect, discuss, and share our light together. And if you have any questions, if you'd like for your whatever you're working on to be addressed, and like especially if you're watching a replay, you couldn't catch it live, you could still let us know your question before, during, or after, whether you email our pay or email at intuitiongym.com. You can find it there, or our Facebook page, or even in the comments here, and we can get to it on another time. So, all right. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.